That's why we have a pre-show, everybody, because man of God just hung up on me. That's why it's called a pre-show. You're watching the Man Like Radio pre-show as we prepare ourselves for this program tonight. Are you a turkey guy or a thankful guy? We're going to call Stan Ferrell again. So bear with me as I make this call again to the man and set myself up. It's good for some of you to understand what goes on behind the scenes here at Man Like Radio as we get ready to do this again. And here we go.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what happened, but you're on. We're in a pre-show.
Oh, okay. What's happening with you, man?
I was explaining to the people that those who are watching already that that's why we have a pre-show.
Exactly.
That way we can make all the mistakes we can. You get it?
Right. All right.
How's everything going, man? How was your meetings?
I was good, man. Would have been better if you'd got the time and dates right.
Oh man, you just exposed me right now on live. I dropped the ball, didn't I?
No, man.
I dropped the ball. Admit it, man. I dropped the ball.
I ain't got to admit it. You got to admit it. Hey, I'm still thankful.
I really love that. Oh man, you're right. You don't have to admit it. I have to. Okay, so I admit it and I ask for your forgiveness.
Oh, done, brother, done.
What you and the wife got planned for Thanksgiving for us here in America, for people who are watching?
Listen, man, I'm gonna sit in the house and count my blessings with my wife and my wife alone, and just be thankful.
And be thankful. Thankful.
Just say thanks to it. Thanks to her all day.
I hear you. I hear you in that. I don't disagree. I just want to remind you, you're listening or you're watching the Man Like Radio pre-show. In the next 7 minutes or so, we'll be kicking off. I have, of course, Pastor Stan Ferrell, my host tonight, and we're going to be doing an interesting topic tonight, talking about thankfulness. And you've already stated, Stan, that you are going to you are going to be just kicking back and letting the wife do all the cooking. Is that what you're really actually saying?
No, I do the cooking.
You do the cooking.
I do the cooking. She's a helper.
I didn't know you was a cook, man. All these years I know you.
I'm not a cook, but I do the cooking.
Oh, okay, all right. You're not confessing that you're something. You just do it.
No, I just do it, man, and it works for us. And
wow,
we're still alive. We're still alive, so it's working.
That's amazing. That really is amazing. That's amazing.
Now, between the two of us, between the two of us, she would say, "Oh, he's the cook." I'm gonna say myself cook, but I just cook better than she does.
So, what part of the do you take?
Oh man, I cook everything. I cook it all.
Wow.
Now this year we're gonna buy a Popeyes turkey this time.
A Popeyes turkey. Okay, we're not advertising, but go ahead, explain what that is.
That's a pre-cooked Cajun turkey by Popeyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're good. So, but everything else I cook.
Wow, that's amazing.
Make from scratch. Yeah.
Okay, so you make all the dressing and you do all the everything else.
Greens. Yep. Greens, cornbread.
You got a whole bunch of family. Man, I might. Nellie and I will be in Austin. I might just come a few more miles up the road, man. Come visit, come pop in, man, and say what's up.
Yeah.
So and about how much family you got coming in?
No one really. No one. So we've been so busy. We just got back in last night.
Right.
So we've been busy. So now we knew we would be trying to rest. So we didn't plan it that way this time. So.
Wow. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you are. That's really good because that.
Oh, yeah. It's been a very, very busy year ministry-wise, so we planned, and we knew at the end of the year we are going to just settle down and not do much, so we planned it that way.
And where you plan to head to next? Where you going to be next?
I'll be in Africa.
Okay, when you're leaving? Oh, I didn't know that. When you're heading out?
Yeah, I'll be leaving Africa. I'll be around here locally doing some stuff, but then Africa I'll be leaving the first of the year.
Mm-hmm. What nation?
We'll be in Ghana doing a pastor's leadership conference.
Okay, so if there's anybody by chance listening to us in Ghana, Stan Ferrell is coming there in January, about January, right?
Yeah, we'll be in the Corporadia area.
Corporadia area. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be about how long are you going to be there in Africa? How many?
We'll be there a week. Be there 7 days. Be there a week.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome.
It is.
One thing I love, Stan, is I've always loved Africa anyway. But I love that when we black folks go to Africa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. Just go. You know what I'm saying? I really think it's awesome. It's awesome because they, with all respect, they've been accustomed to every other person going there, every other ethnicity, I should say.
Yeah.
And and after all, ultimately, the motherland. At least Nelly keeps reminding me.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know about all that, but I know it's done.
I know, but anyway, Nelly's got it down pat. She keeps reminding me, brother, that it's the motherland for me. So I don't know what book she's been reading, but she's strong in it, man.
Okay, we'll let her have it
then. So that's amazing, man. And y'all gonna be having a conference for leaders?
Yeah, all week long. Yeah, leadership conference, man, and they read it too. They very well received. So
how was the meeting tonight? What'd you speak on?
Oh, tonight we talk about living within purpose and living without purpose and what they look like.
Oh boy, it's another show, but go ahead. I like it already. So we only got 2 minutes left. So give me a 1 minute synopsis, brother. What do they look like? How do you know when you're in purpose or out? You just idle, running around, trying to like a dog trying to catch a tail?
Well, without purpose, you have to manipulate life. Within purpose, you wait till it manifests.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So but you're actually saying is without purpose, you got to work life out yourself.
Yeah, you got to manipulate it, and then you got to continue to work. Because as soon as you get it to go left, it goes back right, and vice versa. But purpose, God has already done it. All you need to do is be patient, obedient, and it manifests. And so that's a major difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That. Well, we got to set up a program and get you on that one, man. That's. But after you get some rest, man, because you've been busy.
Oh man, yeah. So I'm tired tonight, but I'm good. I'm ready to roll though.
Well, maybe I should have let you have your beauty rest, man.
No, man. I know. I'm always got time for this. I love to do.
The wife probably said, "Man, that poor man. They're just working him out."
Oh no, she knows. I'm in my element, so she knows.
Well, I want to say hello to all of you. In the next 50 seconds or so, we'll be starting the Man Like Radio. You're watching the pre-show. I have as my co-host tonight, Pastor Stan Ferrell from Arlington, Texas. So we got about 30 seconds or so before we kick off. And I really like what he said a while ago, what Stan said a while ago about purpose. So if you're not living your purpose, you're basically trying to manipulate it in life. And if you are living it, then of course that's where I guess Stan, all the patience and trust and faith comes in.
There you go. That's what it does. Purpose empowers you. Without it, no power. You got to find power. You got to create power.
Well, guess what, folks? We got 10 seconds left as we go into the Man Like Radio show. This is the pre-show, and we are about to go on. We'll be back in a moment as we continue.
Hello and welcome to the Man Like Radio podcast. Now let's do some godly talk for godly walk.
Well, hello, man. I'm Richard Boyd coming in here tonight on the Manlight Radio. And of course, as you can tell, I have as my co-host and everybody, one of everybody's favorite. And that is Pastor Ferrell, Stan Ferrell. Somebody, I've got to tell you, somebody wrote in, and I need to send you all this because sometimes it sounds like I'm just, but somebody wrote in an email. I guess I get somewhere. I'm like you. Sometimes I get tired up, but I think you experienced that this week. Anyway, somebody sent in a thing a few months back, Stan, and they said that when you speak, it really, really opens up their heart and gives them a real good revelation of what's going on today in the world and in God has for us. So that's good. And so I just want to say thank you for coming on. I know you've been busy, and we just had the pre-show a while ago, but I want to say to everybody out there, you're listening to the Manlight Radio at manlightradio.com. And if you're not watching us through Manlight Radio, you're seeing us on social media. You can go ahead, of course, and get your questions in as the show goes on. We're talking tonight on a very subject, not a touchy subject, but a subject that I title it, Are You a Turkey Guy or a Thankful Man? And are we a turkey guy or a thankful man? In other words, Stan, I guess the way I want to say it is this before we kick into it, is this, are we, even though for us in America, Thanksgiving is coming up in a few days, are we just guys just going to sit down and eat turkey? Or are we just what the day is about? Are we men that are thankful? So let me pop this question out to you immediately, Stan, on this. Do you find today that men are more thankful or less thankful? And I understand that the world is changing.
Right.
Does it come with an age group? Does it come, you know what I'm saying? Is there a certain age group that is? When we get older, we're more grumpy and not thankful. When we get younger do you find that today?
Well, I would say less thankful because, as time move on, generation of people got off, and most of the current generation or the younger generation, and they're less thankful, and so that changes the numbers and the dynamics of among the genders of whether things. I would say, considering all ages, the numbers would say, hey, we're less thankful because these last couple of generations are less thankful, and Scripture talks about that. They'll be less appreciative of their parents, and because they don't realize their heritage, and they don't realize the things that precede them, and so therefore, when you forget those things or not aware of those things, you can't help but to be less thankful. Not so much on purpose, but just by default, and so I would say. Overall, we're less thankful than we used to be and could be, but it's something that can be recaptured.
Right. So, and I'm going to go back again, like always, to grab that nugget that you said that earlier. You said that because of our past, so you believe it has a lot to do. I know that history is something that we look at, but I always say this, Stan, and you can tell me right or wrong. History is a good guideline, but don't let it define your future.
Right, exactly. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Take a look at the time in which we live in, such social media, and the innovation of technology. The downside to the innovation of technology with social media is one of the biggest fruit of that is less and less interpersonal connection and relationship. And so when you have less and less personal contact, then the stuff, the fruits of that, which is gratefulness, love, peace, joy, and those things go down because that's what it takes from us. And because you can just send a text, you can just get on Facebook or whatever, and people playing games, so people not engaged like they used to be. So therefore, that mere fact is a major contributor of not being thankful because you don't realize what you got because all this stuff we do have is blocking us from the stuff that really matters.
Right.
And that is the people in our lives, the family, and the people around us. To put it in one of the most popular cliches, the village. We don't forgot about the village. Yes.
And,
because the individualism has become so strong and selfishness has become so great that the village don't exist no more because it's that village concept in ethnicity. I'm not talking about black people. I'm just talking about in every ethnicity.
Right,
you know,
right. Yeah, I agree.
That, you know what I'm saying? That created that gratefulness and the thankfulness, and so we kind of losing that.
Now, would you also add to, Stan, that one of the reasons too is in many ways, and I know this is a foundation is a lack of us being taught this by both father and even sometimes spiritual leaders.
Exactly. It's something that's got to be constantly nurtured, and when it's not, then, like I say, all these other things take over. It's like anything, you know. You have a great and awesome farm, and you have all the right components to grow a great harvest in the farm. But if you don't keep nurturing that soil, man, the weeds will take over, bro.
Okay, so let's talk. Let's say this then. So what are, and I'm going to put this out there, and we can work this together. What do you think are some ways that we as men need to be thankful? Now, I like what you said a while ago too, and that is starting to recognize and appreciate people for who they are.
Yeah.
And when we don't appreciate people for, which we have a tendency not to sometimes, or we have a tendency, Stan, Stan, I tell my wife this, and this might go a little bit off topic. I'm like, I watch a lot, as you know, I love technology a lot. And when you said it a while ago, you just punch me in my heart. No, I'm just, I'm just teasing. But I love technology a lot because I know the things you can do with it, and even on a small scale. But I see something with tech guys is that, and I give an example, they can be criticizing something. Like, for example, just criticizing a certain watch, and when you look in the hand, they're wearing the watch.
Right.
Or they're criticizing a certain phone, but then they'll say, I've got to get it. Oh, and the only reason why I'm going to get it because I'm a tech guy. And I'm thinking, no. A car dealer doesn't own every car that's out there in the market. You get what I'm saying? So I think that just using that analogy, we see that today. That you're right, that today's men and women too don't have that gratitude. In fact, I had an elder years ago at the church preach a message. I never forgot it. One of the messages he preached that I've always remembered. He said the attitude of ingratitude. Yeah. And is that not what you're saying? That's what we have today.
Yeah, and again, and let me just clarify, not to demonize or to dirty innovation and technology and social media. They're not the problem, and so I'm not saying that. I'm saying because of those things, and then our not continuing to nurture our families and our neighborhoods and our villages, those things take over. Those things replace. These things should be just what they are, just instruments and technology and whatever. They shouldn't be things that accommodate us in terms of, let them play games. The game should be a babysitter. The game should be just something, the extra they get to do. But then they still should have that family dynamic, and so we as men, we have to work harder because of this kind of things to keep our families grounded and grateful and thankful. First of all, for one another, God, and then those around us.
Right. I understand you're saying. So again, it comes back to, so now there has to actually be like, and I like, again, taking a nugget from what you said earlier, a consistent, even teaching, reminding of men. That's one of the jobs we have as pastoral leaders, is to always remind not only ourselves, but men to be thankful. Okay. Now, do you know bitterness? Do you believe that bitterness plays a part too of us about not being thankful?
You say
bitterness when we're bitter, unforgiveness.
Oh, bitterness. Oh, okay. Oh, for sure. I mean, that's the only way bitterness can live. You forget what you got, and you're so focused on what you didn't get or what you got, what you lost. Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is one of the evidence that you are not. Because when you are, it's hard to be bitter and you're thankful. So it just exposes. It exposes that you're not, and again, that's how you ward against that kind of stuff, bitterness, resentment, anger, just, you lost, this is going on, but just remember, I said to someone, a friend of mine this other day, he lost his dad, and I said to him, I said, man, I lost my dad a year ago, I said, but the thing that God reminded me is that we think so much about what we lose, and we forget what we got from them. See, and that we focus on I lost my dad, but then you forget what your dad left you though.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yes,
And if you think about what he left you more than he took away with him.
Wow.
So you got really a lot to be thankful for, you know. And that helps the grieving process and help us get along better, and then help us grow as people through the process of grieving and not go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So perspective, you know,
Right.
perspective.
Right.
And,
I want to remind those who are coming in right now, of course, if you're listening to us later on the podcast, obviously you're already in, but those who are coming in right now, to remind them and say hi, shout out to those who are listening and watching us on social media, that you can go to Manlight. If you're not going through Manlight Radio, go to manlightradio.com, hit the red button. You'll see it said red button, and there you can get your questions in after the break. We have one question at camp already, and this one, Stan, I'm going to wait till after the break because this is a soccer. Usually we always get these soccer questions, and I don't mean the one kick with a ball. I'm talking about a puncher that comes in. It's kind of like a turnkey question.
Okay.
But anyway, but I do want to say this. You can hit the red button, get your comments or questions in, and you can leave it anonymous. If you don't go through social media, it will be anonymous. If you do go through social media, of course, everybody will be able to read it and so forth. So we're saying here, we're talking about, are you a turkey guy or are you a thankful man? In other words, when you sit down here in America this weekend. I think Canada also has Thanksgiving, but I think they have it before us, a week or so before us, something like that. Anyway, but when you sit down here in America, as Stan was saying earlier in the pre-show, he and his wife are going to just kick back and just eat and relax. When you do that, are you a turkey in that you're not really remembering those that you need to be thankful for? Stan, you think in our lives, and I know the answer already, but we need to be thankful. And I like what you said a while ago, again, that nugget of our fathers, whether we receive it or not, left more than they took. But do you think, Stan, that we need to be, and I think you know the answer on this, that we need to be thankful in every area of our life, no matter the situation. And I know the Bible says that.
Yeah, in all things, not for all things, but in all things.
Okay, not for all things. I like what you said. Not for all things, but in all things. Right? Stress on that a minute.
Well, that means maintain your even keel perspective, in regards to whether things go up or down. You maintain your contentment, because, you know, and it's something that you have to learn, Paul. So I had to learn to be content, you see. And when you learn to be content, then it's easy to be thankful, because you realize that even in a down time, there's something to gain from it, not just some up times, you know. And that comes with the development of our manhood, you know. And so thankfulness is a fruit of our mental maturity and development, you know, as men. So a man can really tell how he's really developing, and how his attitude of gratitude is growing in overall, you know, and how he's seeing things, in perspective of things. But when a man is losing perspective, then he's not going to be thankful, and that's not, and that's one of the ways you can tell he loses perspective. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find something to be thankful. Hard to find something to be thankful for.
Right. You
know, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so that's an error too. I agree on that. Well, we got to take a break, and you're listening to the Manlight Radio. I'm your host, Richard Boyd, and on the phone we have Stan Ferrell from Arlington, Texas. I want to say thank you to all of you who are listening and watching, and you can get your question in by going to manlightradio.com if you're not there already, and just scroll down and hit the red button. Also, you'll see the different hosts. You'll see Arthur Culpepper, Jeff Daniels, and Officer Stan Ferrell. And you can click on their picture on their link and go straight to their website. And there you'll be able to get, even contact them and get information and so forth. Well, let's go to the break. We'll be back in a moment as we're talking about, are you a turkey man, guy, or are you a thankful man? We'll be right back. Hello, men out there who are listening to us on the Man-like Radio. In fact, you might be listening, or you might be even watching us on a social network. I want to remind you, please, we need subscribers. We need for you to pick up your phone or your tablet or your computer, and I know you can't pick your computer up, but anyway, we need for you to go ahead and type in and go to manlikeradio.com. That's manlikeradio.com, and subscribe to us. Or you can email us at manlikeradio@gmail.com. That's manlikeradio@gmail.com. Please, we need subscribers. Why do we need them? Because that way we can keep in touch with you, and it helps us to know who's following. You can get your comments in and after the show. You can get your comments before the show. You can bring it in after the show. You can bring it in between the show. But the point is this: we would like you to subscribe to us. And we've got something special for every man who subscribes by going to manlikeradio@gmail.com. That's manlikeradio@gmail.com. That's the email way, or going to our website at manlikeradio.com. Now, if you're not already there, scroll on down to the bottom if you're at the Man Like Radio site, and just go ahead and subscribe. So once again, manlikeradio.com is our website where you can subscribe, or you can go to manlikeradio@gmail.com and email us and put your name in or your comments. Well, thank you once again, and let's get right back into the program. Well, hello, I'm your host, Richard Boyd, and of course we have all the co-hosts on the other side of on the phone from Arlington, Texas. Stan Ferrell is speaking to us. We're talking about, are you and I repeat it again, are you a turkey man? When you sit down here in America, I'm talking to men in America, and we deal with men all over the world too. When we have Thanksgiving in a few days here in America, happy Thanksgiving to all the men out there too. But are you a man that's going to sit down and just enjoy your turkey and not be a man who realizes how thankful we need to be? Okay, Stan, so here's the question that came in. Basically, we don't know the status of this man, whether he's married or not. Obviously, it's a man, he says there. He said, what about a woman? And I'm reading from it. He says, a woman I love, but she shows no kindness. I do everything for her, but she seems to not care. Any thoughts?
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that for if they're married and if they're not married. Let's start with if they're not married. Let's say if you're not married to the woman, plain and simple. If you don't see enough about her to say, you know what, that's a bad choice, don't make that choice. Let that be your sign, your cue to say, hey, you know what, you're about to make a bad choice of marriage, because you can't change a person. You know, and if she's showing you who she is, take it for what it is. Don't marry her. That's the first answer. Second answer, if you are married, then you got to question your motive. Because again, you can't change her. She's not appreciative, not thankful, not kind about it. You have to do what you're supposed to do, irregardless of her response. Because if her response has a lot to do with what you're doing, then your motive is wrong. First of all, and because when you loving somebody, you show them love. Love is not performance based. So whether she responds or not, now I'm not saying it's okay for her to be that way. I'm just addressing so you can stay thankful and not go south yourself. You have to have a perspective on her response, even though it may not be a positive response. Because if you're doing what you're doing out of the goodness of your heart, then you continue to do that, because it will win. You know, but it's got to be just you doing it because, you know, I'm just expressing who I am and what she is to me, irregardless of what a response is. That's an unfortunate situation, but it's your path, you know, and it doesn't say, oh, because she's not appreciative, she's not kind, then I'm going to stop. Well, then you're not true to what you're doing in the first place.
Right.
You know, and so...
and he could be looking at using that in many ways as a crutch. Would you say that? A crutch to take advantage, or at least, like you said, you can't change anybody. You can't force them into change. That's something, that, especially if they're married, that if they're born again Christians, that God has to come in and get involved in the marriage. That is, begin to move upon hearts.
Yeah, and then here's another thing. Having done a lot of counsel with couples and whatnot, a lot of times people say somebody's not kind or whatever. A lot of times that's relative. She may be thinking she's having a proper response. It's just that she's not responding the way you think she ought to respond. Right. So you got to think about that as well. So what one person called kind, another don't, and vice versa. So not knowing all the situations, that gives the brother some things to work with, and first of all, to check with himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just continue.
Let me ask you. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you go. Go ahead.
One thing I learned about principles, especially the principles of sowing, the scripture says you will always reap what you sow, but it never tells you will always reap it from where you sowed it.
Ah, interesting.
And that gets a lot of people.
Okay, now say that again. I really like that. I like what you just said. I like a lot of things you say, but go ahead.
The scripture teaches that you reap what you sow. It doesn't teach you that you reap where you sow it. See? And we think, everything we're going to reap is going to always be where we sow it at. Not always the case.
Right.
And that's a hard one to accept, but it's true, because Jesus told the disciples, you're gonna sow in places you're not gonna reap, and then you're gonna reap in places you didn't sow. But you sowed, so you can't control where you reap, but you can control where you sow. And you can't limit God to where you sow to bring in a harvest in that same place. So that's why you gotta really check your motive.
That's good. That's good. And I know that, Stan, you always say that whenever we get in the show, you always talk about our motives as men. What's the reason behind the motive behind everything? I know a lot of them are going to say, yeah, but the motive on a woman too. But no, but the point is we have to focus on us first.
Yeah, exactly.
And being ungrateful can come in many forms.
Yeah.
Because the enemy is subtle, and in that he can, as you said a while ago, subtly, I'm just putting this part, subtly he can draw us in, and we think we're actually doing something in good or to defend ourselves, and officially what we're doing is we're causing, our selfish desire. Because you will agree that sometimes we're unthankful also, because, a lot of times, or one of the areas is because we're just selfish.
Exactly.
We're so wrapped up on us.
That's it, exactly. And I say to that brother again, that, if your heart is pure in what you're doing, don't let her steal that from you. And you keep doing what you do and be true to your heart, and you'll be blessed as a result of that. Because if you start responding to it, then the ungratefulness won. And you both gonna lose.
You say it right. Both gonna lose. There's no winner in this.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Stan, another question that came up to us, and this actually didn't come from me. In fact, I'd sent this to you earlier, this question here, and it was a question that came up on one of our emails, and it actually didn't, it was a while back. It didn't come up with thanking, but I guess it lines up with it, because it said this: why can thank you, sorry, no, and excuse me, how come it's hard to do that outside the workplace? In other words, and what the person was saying, because a little bit longer than that, I can tell you what they're saying, was that in the workplace, you're actually told to do that. And so you do it because of professionalism. But why is it outside of that, it's tough?
You know why I found out, man? That's a good question. Because I think I had this conversation with somebody here not long ago, is that when people have a perceived loss of something valuable, it's easy to do it. But when they perceive that they're not losing anything, it's hard to do it. So, for example, at work, that they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their position. They don't want to lose whatever little click they're in. So it's easy because they feel like they got something to lose. But when they're at home, the children, the family, whatever, what family, but they ain't going nowhere. So it's like, I ain't got nothing to lose. Right. And it's amazing, which really is, that's selfishness. See? On both sides, it's selfishness. But when there's a perceived loss of something, that's what will determine some people it's easy to do or not easy to do, because they don't perceive they're going to lose anything, then it's hard to do it. But if they perceive they're going to lose something, they do it. And it's not, which means it's not pure, it's motivated by, I got a perceived loss at stake.
Okay, so that comes back to, Stan, again, what you said previously, right in the beginning of the program, is that people are not appreciative.
Yeah.
Would you connect it there? So you appreciate the job because this is your income and so forth, but you should be like this. Even the question, we don't know if this man isn't the one who wrote in a while ago with regards to his wife, but it can be an area where he's not, or he's also not feeling he's not appreciative of her because of her bad reactions to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying is is that right? So is a value put in it, in other words, then?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if the values,
I
go
find
ahead.
it's amazing. It's the same way with people being thankful for the church or the pastor or the ministry part of. It's amazing how money gives people a certain perspective. And when there's no money at stake, they don't. That's not a perceived loss, and there is, because they don't see tangible things or intangible things as valuable as they should. They see the tangible thing as most valuable. You see, and so when you understand that it's the intangible that makes the tangible, which really have the greater value, and so it's amazing how that works with people. And I found them like that. You're more thankful because I gave you money. You're more thankful versus me just being there for you.
Ah, yes, that's good. That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? I don't have the money to give you, but I give you something that your money can't buy. That is my time, wisdom, or whatever the case is, to spend the time with you. And it's unfortunate. A lot of people just are like that. So when you got perspective, it determines what's easy and what's hard. So I would say perspective. That's why that's hard. More easy.
Right. And I like that theme that keeps coming back in what we've been saying again. You said the word valuable, but really, really, really respecting. I guess thankfulness also comes to knowing who to respect.
Yeah.
Putting a priority in our respecting of the people and being grateful, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
At the beginning from the top. Today's young people, when I was growing up, I wasn't that grateful. Stan, let me be honest. I wasn't a person
not too many of us were.
Right, and even after I came to Christ. But okay, but here's what I want to throw out to you. We got about 5 minutes left. We're going to go a few minutes over because it's good. And then we're going to let you rest for the next few days.
All right.
Here's what I want to throw out to you. You deal a lot with leadership. Today's men lead. How can a leader show gratitude to the people without, plain English, kissing their tough?
Yeah, helping people,
I'm talking about a godly leader now. A godly leader.
Yeah, a godly leader. Communicating mutual value. That God gave me as a gift to you, but what good is a gift if there's no one to give it to? So though I am a gift, but in order for my gift to be appreciated and to really add value, I need to have somebody that will receive it. So you're just as important in the equation as I am, because we can cancel each other out, without me or without you. And so there's no thing such as I'm more important and you more important. We equally important, because what I need to, what God wants to do in your life through me, you can't do.
Right.
And what you need done, what you as a person is called to do whatever I can't do.
Right. Correct.
And so it's like you just can't say the hand's more important than the feet.
Yes.
They equally important. Yet different. And so again, it's communicating that perspective to people that, listen, I am just as grateful to God for you as you are for me, and you have value. And I think that's, that goes not said enough, from leaders to people, without you guys, God won't have no need for us. And you got to communicate that. And on that note, man, we in our ministry, we have a regular thing that we do to do that. We do some stuff every month with our ministry team, because we want them to feel that we're thankful to them, such as we literally celebrate each team member's birthday. and my wife and I do something for them. You know, and whatnot. And so to communicate that we're thankful for you. It's not just words, but we're thankful, and so we back that up with particular action. So it's so very important. So that's a real good question, man. Real good question. Right. And it's not done. Not that there's others not doing it, because I know others that are. But it's so very important. And I'm gonna tell you something. And when people feel that, then they're inspired to show more gratitude from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean, you will reap it. And so to actually see it happening, man, it's powerful. It really is powerful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you'll get more out of people, you know, without having to ask why. Because when people feel appreciative and thankfulness is communicated, it's the godness in us that inspires us to do things that we're not asked to do, to show our reciprocation of the gratitude that you have for us.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing to see, man. So I'm living that right now. Honest about the truth, yeah. So, wow. Good question.
Wow. Well, we've come to the end of another Man Like, and I want to say, first of all, on behalf of myself and Stan Ferrell, happy Thanksgiving to all you in America.
Yeah.
I hope you and I hope you enjoy a turkey and not become a turkey. Right? Isn't that right, Stan? Any closing thoughts, Stan? We got a minute or so left. Any closing thoughts you want to put out there to bring some blessing to these men?
I would just say, find some kind of way to show your thankfulness indeed to someone, and find somebody that you don't even know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So. Well, God bless you all, men out there, and those who are listening, women too. Thank you so much for being a part of the Man Like Radio. We'll be on next week again, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can also go to, and the following places, you can go to our website at manlikeradio.com. In fact, the easiest way is just go to manlikeradio.com, because right now we have joined up to 2 more networks. That's both Anchor Radio or Anchor FM and also Spreaker. Back in Spreaker again, but just go to manlikeradio.com and you will be able to go to those places and see and so forth and so on. Thank you so much. You can still get your questions in or email us, and we'll probably do it in the next program. God bless. Stan, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Relax with your wife.
Thank you, my brother Sam, and you and my friend and your mother. Give everybody our love.
I will, my brother. God bless.
Bless you, man. Love you.
Thank you once again for joining us on this Man Like podcast. Please take time and email us at manlikeradio@gmail.com. Once again, that's manlikeradio@gmail.com. Man Like Podcast is a production of R.N. Boyd Productions and Love Gospel Network. Please seek a qualified professional in the area you need immediate help.